The X Factor. The hit show on Fox has seen more of its artists break into the top of the charts than any of the primetime talent shows. I had a chance to talk to three of the judges, Demi Lovato, Paulina Rubio, and Kelly Rowland, about this season, the contestants, and how being judges on the show have helped their individual careers. Two things that really differentiate this show: the international appeal of the show and the number of people that have actually gone on to really become hit makers. Your contestants have gone on to produce 130 number one hits and 350 top 10 records. Why is that? What makes this show different?
Because I think we're not just trying to find somebody that just sings. We're not trying to find somebody that just looks good. We're looking for something specific. And I think that that's why you get artists who go from X Factor and become, something special that the rest of the world wants to actually keep watching or continue to watch, whose careers they want to continue to follow and that they respect. We want to find people who could be legends or icons, you know what I mean, who will be great, go into the world and be great by themselves.
And so to see Leona Lewis and to see One Direction shows that you have a good formula. Now, one of the things that I think the show could do better on is growing the audience in the older demographic, because right now you're in the top 10 with teens, but you're only among the top 20 programs in the 18 to 49 demographic. How do you change that?
I think that changes, like, the more engaging they are. Above anything, when people turn on the television, they turn on the television to be entertained. And I think that when they turn on the television to see X Factor, they're going to be entertained through and through.
I think last year, too, I feel like there was a certain energy or chemistry that, the panel was kind of lacking. And this year, it's just an entirely different panel. And honestly, when I listen to you saying all the ratings and stuff, it just sounds like gibberish to me. Because
well, it's not gibberish. I mean, it matters in the business of broadcast.
Honestly, too, if we're having fun, it'll come across more so than maybe it matters to other people, but for me, at least, I don't really care.
Well, you know what? You'll care if.
Oh no, I've been in the industry for a while.
Not on the show next season.
I care. Right. No, trust me, I've been in the industry for quite a little bit now.
I think that with TV nowadays, one thing that's also dynamic, I will say, about the UK as opposed to the US is people are still crowding in front of the television with family members and with friends. And I think that that's actually something that we can probably learn from and embrace in our culture, because I remember the days when I used to do that, and I would love to be able to have a night to have that more family time with people that I love, you know what I mean? So why not have that on the nights that we're on?
So now
you know
it's
what I mean?
The family crowding around the computer saying, let's see what's trending on X Factor right now, right? You had 87 trending topics in one, I think it was your November episode last year. So how has social media really played a role?
I mean, social media plays a huge role. You think about the fact that, for one, I can't even count how many followers Demi has anymore.
I think it just got a little over 17 million.
But people love to be engaged, with people that they admire. Like, it's so many people that I follow on Instagram or Twitter, because I want to know what they're doing, what they're thinking, and how I'm possibly inspired, by them as well. So I think that, we've had really interesting moments on Twitter and Instagram, especially during live shows, and they definitely want to be a part.
If you look at the charts today, a lot of the number one people are DJs and rappers. They're not singers. You're all performers. How do you feel about that number one? Do you bring them into the show, or do you boost the people that are really performers and musicians to help them replace them?
I think that what's so great about music is the fact that you can fuse it all. I don't think that you have to just have a rapper or just have a DJ. I think that you find an artist that can actually embody them all. And we have this one kid who's actually like that. But I think that everybody just kind of divides everything up into categories. And true, we are given a category, but it's okay, it's music. We're supposed to be able to embrace each other and styles and techniques and the way that people do things. I think that you don't have to just be one specific thing. And that's what's cool about DJs.
Yeah, and also too is, with DJs, a lot of it comes from collaborating with
artists.
Sia and collaborating with
Pitbull.
Huh?
Right? Pitbull. Like that.
Pitbull, exactly. It's a collaboration that I think has really gotten so much attention with that and Neo and all these people. It's like we find the musicians and kind of the singers over on this show, and then who's to say that you can't collaborate a year later, 6 months later, with a DJ or a rapper, and that's where you kind of bring it in.
And by the way, it all starts with a melody, and that's what we do.
A good song.
You can't.
Right?
Yes, a good song always starts with a melody. That's always from a voice, honey.
Well, I think I think Drake is a good example of someone who kind of personifies
absolutely.
the singing and the rapping.
Yes, that's why I'm saying we embrace it all.
You know, when they win this show, I have a feeling that they're never going to, or they're not yet as advanced as you are. I mean, there has to be things that you're out there experiencing and that you've experienced for years that haven't experienced yet. So when they win the show, what skills do they need to get to the level that you're at?
Don't you think I think a lot of the things they have to learn on their own, the same way we did.
Yeah,
you know,
time
when,
by time.
Yeah, when you get in the music industry, you have to fall a couple of times, and there are some things that we can give them, you know, a couple of pieces that we've learned or knowledge that we've learned, but a lot of things they have to go through for themselves.
Is it easier for them to break out than it was for you? Because obviously you had to start. You were in Houston, right?
Let me tell you something. It took, I don't even want to tell you how long it took to get a record deal and to be dropped and signed and dropped and signed. Like, the dynamic is completely different now because you can load your video up on YouTube and you best believe there's somebody looking for talent on YouTube and on all of these different sites and social media to find something different, find something new. And to be honest, there are no rules. I think that's what's so cool about now's time in music. There are no rules. We make the rules, and this generation is just like, yeah, we're gonna make the rules. This is what's in. This is what's trending. I'm gonna tell you how this is gonna go, and that's actually really interesting.
Do you feel that the candidates realize the power of the platform when they come on? Because, for instance, if someone came on with a half of an album that was really well produced, already ready to go, then they could capitalize on the audience that they inherit from the show. But do people really realize that before they get on, how big it's going to be?
I think some people do, but what's interesting as well, you know, we literally put together Fifth Harmony last year, and they've gone on to be more successful than some of the people that had managers beforehand or had, music beforehand. And that's what's pretty incredible is a year later they're on Kiss FM. And I'm in the car and I'm turning on turning on the radio, and there they are several times, and you know, that it's kind of awesome to see them evolve without already having experience. And if they already do, then great. But I really don't think that that it's just it all comes down to talent. If you have a good album that's already halfway done, or if you have 5 talented, beautiful girls that sing so incredible, then that's what's going to matter.
And if I'm Clear Channel, I prefer someone that's been on The X Factor or The Voice or American Idol before someone that's coming out of nowhere.
You might. That's how come we have to make sure that we're doing a great job as mentors. You know what I mean? And not just that, but I think that talent is truly everywhere. You know, we're just really fortunate to be able to travel across the country and see and sought them out for ourselves and pull them in for the show.
I interview a lot of performers and athletes and people like that, and there's an element that people are not prepared for. The idea of the fishbowl and social media.
Absolutely.
And money, having money for the first time. Are there things that you do as mentors to work with these young people about that?
I try to prepare when I talk to Fifth Harmony.
What do you tell them? What's about to happen to you?
Well, it's I talked to Emblem 3 afterwards, after the show, and I said, you guys are about to be huge, you need to be prepared. And there's no amount of preparation. It kind of happened in a way overnight for me as well. I booked Camp Rock and I shot the movie, and in 1 month I went from playing shows in front of 200 people, could barely sell tickets, to in the same month opening up for the Jonas Brothers.
How did your life change?
In front of 18,000 people. Like that's what I think Emblem 3 is habit. You know, my life changed a lot. I mean, there's no way to describe it. It's just, you know, privacy was gone. So that's a sacrifice that you just make and have to deal with.
Yeah.
Do you ever kind of wish that that weren't the case?
You know what? I remember watching Whitney Houston on the stage just deliver an incredible performance and thinking that was it. And I think that when you come into the industry, doesn't matter if you're a singer, actress, whatever, I think that you have to know, with me just as one person looking at you, there's millions of people viewing you like that and thinking, wow, that life is wonderful, that life is beautiful. You are never prepared, but it is important to know that this is your dream, one, but there are other things that come along with it. And it's important to know that it's not just about a microphone. It's not just about interviews. It's not just about cute clothes. It's not just about anything, you know, that people might see. It's more. It's no sleep. It's
being
smiling.
lonely.
Yeah, being lonely. It's smiling when you don't feel like smiling. It's wonderful performances, having a bad performance, being booed, being cheered for. Like, there's so many emotions that come along with this industry.
What's lonely
and
about
you have to
it?
be ready.
I mean,
Touring.
you travel around the world, you have family, you have a couple, or you don't. There's moments that people can come with you, but not all the time.
Yeah.
And then your team, your second family become your team.
Yeah.
And you see them more than maybe your parents or your... And there's many sacrifices that you do for the passion of being able to be on stage, to write music, to have a link in between emotions and message. Music is a universal language, and it brings happiness, it brings peace, it brings people together. There's other things that people maybe don't think when they wanted to be in that position, that little by little with us, maybe we can tell them more about it. The danger of being a child in this industry. I mean, all different effects, the domino effect and reactions, and you need to think about everything. But you don't when you have that dream. So we're here for that as well.
What about songwriting? I mean, are you in a position to impart to these young people how valuable the intellectual property is for them to be able to make royalties beyond just the performance, but to be able to take some control over their songwriting?
I actually, I'm pretty sure I actually gave one of my songs to one of the contestants last year's that I wrote. And I think it's so important to explain to them that you're not in an industry anymore where you can just sing music. Sometimes you have to, like, it's now, you know, you have to be a singer and a songwriter, or you have to be a singer and play an instrument, or a singer and dance. It's no longer just a one-trick
Exactly.
show. You have to be able to do everything, and that adds more pressure for sure. But when you are able to prepare people, start taking lessons now. You know, if you haven't been doing it for all this time, start now. Start writing songs now. My first few songs started out about, like, butterflies and puppies. You have to start somewhere.
You never know, that song might sell, you know? But that is important. Each of you obviously were chosen based on a strategic value that you offered to the show. What demographic do you each think you appeal to?
What do you think?
You know what? If I knew the answer to that question,
what do you think?
I'd be in an office somewhere, right? But I mean, I think that you have a very international appeal, of course.
Gracias.
Would you say that?
I would, yeah. I grew up in different countries, and even though that I'm bilingual sometimes, at some hours of the day, I think we are America. I mean, she's part of America. I'm a little part of America. She's a huge part of America. But we cannot forget something. We are entertainers, and we're here for a reason, and it's entertain and give what the industry and what the public gave us, and it's just a little piece. It's interesting.
And obviously this helps your brands. right? You have your individual projects that you're doing. You said it's not just about singing, but it's dancing, it's songwriting, and it's being a judge on X Factor, if you can get to that level.
But at heart, we are all truly artists.
We're
And that's
privileged.
one of the reasons that we were asked to be here, is that we remember that moment that we had a specific audition and it was a make or break moment. And we've had careers and we're blessed to have careers. And now we get a chance to share that moment with these contestants and with the rest of the world as well.
I've had moments, sometimes this year, but even more so last year, where I was on the panel with these legends. And I was 19 years old, like thinking, why am I up here? Like, I have no, I've only been known for 5 years. And as time has gone by, the experience that I have from the age of 7 years old into trying to make it till I was 14, 15, that actually I learned more than I feel like in the past maybe 4 years of my life, 5 years of my life. And that's when I realized, okay, maybe, it's not just about being known for however long, it's the hard work that it took to get there.
Yeah.
And what you know now, like combine the two. I still have moments where I'm like, why am I up here? But I do also have moments where I'm like, I feel like I've paid my dues, and I know a lot now, not just from being in the spotlight, but from trying to get there.
Right. Well, celebrity has changed a great deal. I think that you could teach the veterans in the industry a lot about reaching new audiences.
Which
right?
is, I think, why
17
Simon...
million Twitter followers.
I think that's why Simon brought me on last year, is because I have a younger, different perspective of like what my crowd, I think, wants. And obviously I was a little wrong. I did win. But I'm really in tune, and I'm like, trust me, Simon, this works. This sounds great. And I said that from the beginning with Emblem 3. I said, trust me, they're gonna be huge. And now they're very, very at a fast pace escalating to a huge, huge fan base.
What advice do you give people that want to be on this show about actually making it and getting on?
Come prepared, have different options of songs, and come with everything.
Make sure it's your passion and you don't just want to be famous.
Right.
I think that's what's really...
Good luck.
You can't really stick with someone that doesn't have passion once you get to the live shows. You really have to, otherwise they're not going to want to work.
Right.
And they're going to be difficult to work with. But once you get there and you weed out those people, then it's easier to find.
I interrupted you when you talked about you needing to be in it for more than just the fame.
Oh no, that's truly it, the heart of it. I think that people should truly let their talent above anything shine.
What are you each excited about in your own careers right now?
The new album, Talk a Good Game, and just the possibilities of different things, of different opportunities for me right now, just with branding things. So, yeah.
I'm just recording my new album. It's been 3 years since I came out with a new single. I'm coming out with the single in October. I had the time now to be writing and collaborating with different people, and just my baby. I'm a mother of a 2-year-old, which is my priority, and I don't know what else. I'm coming out with a shoe company and different other things. I'm sure they have their own branding and their whole thing, but my main thing is songs, concerts, and this new project.
I just signed on to do a 6-episode deal with Glee, and so in the middle of shooting X Factor, I'm also shooting a different TV show. But it's fun, and at the same time, I also released an album back in May, and still working on that. That in itself is enough. To like shoot singles and tour and play one-off shows and all that, but the thing is, I took on this role of Glee, and I took on X Factor again because of how much fun I have.
This next performer is one of my favorites. Her name is Janelle Garcia.
So how do you learn about the business then?
You better write everything down while you're going through it. I'm very serious. You have to write everything down as it's happening, and even look at other people's interviews and see whose techniques you like. You know what I mean? And that goes from dancing to interviewing to style. Like, know everything about yourself too before the rest of the world tells you who you are.
Exactly.
I think that you should know who you are before getting to this industry and having someone tell you who you are. It makes you unique. It makes you know exactly who you are so that you don't have to deal with that.
So how did you learn about the business yourselves?
I'm 32, I'm still learning.
Little by little, little by
Yeah.
little, with a lot of passion, with a lot of patience, great team, great people around you, people that tell you the truth, not what you wanted to hear, but what you need to hear, what is happening right now. And it's important to have a link with your audience, and media, social media give you that opportunity. And the whole, everything changed so fast. You don't have anybody in between your fans, and that's unique. And that's why whatever you do, you can bring it up, or someone will before you. No?
Has this inspired any of you to want to get into your own TV stuff and pitching your own shows?
My mind is always, it never stops thinking.
Yeah.
It's and I have a production company, and I'm trying to start shows right now because eventually I want to get to the point where, as great as this life is, I want to be behind the scenes, because growing up I thought that I would love the fame of it.
Okay, Simon, look out, man.
I'm constantly thinking, and I have so many things in the works right now that will take time to build and come out with. But my mind is always wondering, like, I want to direct one day. I want to produce. I want to write music for other artists, not just myself. I want to manage other artists, and this is only the beginning. But eventually, I want to be behind the scenes, because I like the life of, like, more privacy and making music, still doing what I love,
Right.
but not in front of everyone.
So we have some moguls. Congratulations to you, ladies.
Thank you very
Look forward
much.
to the season.
Thank you.
You did it great. Yes. Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
And with the X Factor, I'm Lee Hawkins. See you next time.
Because everything happens so fast now.
Especially
and that's the thing.
now.
It's like,
Especially
now. With social media, like, they want you to come out, they want you to blow up, they want you to get to the top, and then it's on to the next thing.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
My own young, doing my own laundry, cleaning, doing everything, on my own, and I appreciate that, because I think with that comes a great work ethic, and I think it comes a level of respect and appreciation for things that you have. And